to discuss Iran war situation, and we analyze the social media footages and reports which can be unverified at times. We analyze these unverified reports and footages purely from educational and documentary point of view, strongly following the YouTube community guidelines. Now, let's begin with the news that Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan are pushing for US Iran meeting within 48 hours. Both sides are still far apart, but these three countries are working overtime to get them in the same room because the world can't afford another week of this war. There is the breaking news that Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan are pushing for US Iran negotiations within 48 hours. The world cannot afford another week of this war. Kremlin says that it does not know how reliable reports are about a 15 points plan on Iran. The US is saying that US wants a ceasefire for a month to discuss 15 points agenda with Iran to have a complete permanent ceasefire. Iran says that Iranian professor says that Iran rejects talks and calls the U.S. statement as worthless. Iranian professors call the U.S. Statements for negotiations as worthless. Iran rejects negotiations with the U.S. There is another breaking news that no damage to electricity infrastructure, says Israel Electric Corporation after Iranian strikes. The IDF says it has now carried out more than 600 strikes on Iranian ballistic missile sites near the war began. And these are some of the visuals when the visuals showing that IDF striking Iran's ballistic missile sites. These are the visuals. We are showing you that when Israel struck Iranian ballistic missile sites, Israel is reported to have said that they have struck 600 times the different regions and places where the ballistic missiles were deployed and stored in Iran since the war began. The war has entered, Israel-Iran-US war has entered its 25th day. It's now 26th day. Israel-US war has entered in its 26th day, and since the war started, Israel has said that they have in these 26 days targeted 600 times the missile launching sites and storage facilities of missiles 600 times since the war began. Israel is reported to have said that they have attacked 600 times the different locations in which these Iranian missiles were stored and deployed. Let's discuss some more visuals. And the US is preparing to send up 3,000 troops to the Middle East. US is preparing to send 3,000 troops to Middle East. Oil just crashed from $113 per barrel to $93 in 2 days. Brent dropped from $20 barrel in this week, all because Trump said the word productive and Iran didn't deny receiving a piece of paper. No ceasefire has been signed. No ships are moving through Hormuz. Missiles are still hitting Israel tonight. The IJC just released maximalist demand designed to stall talks. So basically, the summary is that oil has just taken a little bit dip, and that is because it's not because that the ceasefire is in place. or the starting of the negotiations. This is not because of that. This is because that President Trump has just said in yesterday and day before yesterday that they are preparing for negotiations with Iran. Iran at first denied it and said that. The statements from US about negotiations are worthless and they are not negotiating with US. And but Turkey and Egypt and Pakistan are trying very hard for to start negotiations between Iran and US. And when the situation comes like this, that the regional countries are trying to play their role to have ceasefire.
Şunu göstermiştir.
And so then when this situation comes that the talks of ceasefire begin, and so the prices just dropped a little bit. The prices of oil dropped just a little bit. The president of Turkey, Tayyip Erdogan, is saying that, I said that this is just an Israeli war, and Benjamin Netanyahu, to secure his political survival, he is fighting this war to secure his political survival, and 8 billion people are getting affected because of him starting the war for his own political survival. This was the statement which Turkish President Erdogan has said. These are the visuals from Israel and Al Jazeera, courtesy Al Jazeera. Uh, when the missiles made an impact in central Israel. The visuals courtesy Al Jazeera. The impacts after the Iranian missiles made an impact. The visuals courtesy Al Jazeera. We are showing you the social media footages which can be unverified at times, and we are analyzing these unverified reports and visuals purely from educational and documentary point of view, and strongly adhering to the YouTube community guidelines. These are visuals from Iraq. These are the latest visuals from Erbil, Iraq, after a drone struck. Latest visuals from Iraq after a drone strike. After a kamikaze drone strike in Iraq, the latest visuals. We are showing you the latest visuals after a drone struck in Iraq. A drone strike on a fuel tank in Kuwait International Airport on 25th of March. The latest visuals, we are showing you the latest visuals where a drone strike on the oil facility of Kuwait, and there you see the oil facility of Kuwait was struck by Iran by a drone. Iran has released a video of across missile strike in Israel. Iran released a video showing the launch of missile towards Israel, courtesy Al Jazeera News. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and share your thoughts in the comments, and we will be reading your comments and responding to your comments as well. Please do share and like the video, share and subscribe. Iran has now launched over 80 waves of strikes on different US bases and infrastructure in the Gulf region and towards Israel as well. The 80 waves of missiles being launched since the beginning of the war. This war entered in its 26th day, and it's the 26th day of the war. And the update from latest update from today is that Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan are trying hard to start negotiation talks between the US and Iran. And earlier, President Trump also said that the talks are going to start between US and Iran. President Trump said that he's hopeful that there will be a good result of those talks, resulting in ceasefire. To which Iranian spokesperson replied that we are not interested in the talks, and we will not open the Strait of Hormuz, and we will fight till complete victory is achieved by us, and we will fight till we move and we push out the US from these Gulf countries. The statement from Iranian spokesperson was that we will fight till we push the US out from the region in the Middle East, and we will fight till complete victory. And he also called the statements of negotiations from President Trump as worthless, and said that they are not interested in negotiations. And of dollar building an entire underground missile city deep inside the mountains. Reports that Iran is launching missiles from underground tunnels, and they have built the infrastructure underground, and they have hidden their missiles underground. And then they fire the missiles from underground. There were reports that Iran is firing missiles from underground, and they have dug tunnels through which they fire missiles towards U.S. bases in the Gulf and towards Israel. And there were reports as well that many kilometers tunnels were dug near the nuclear facilities of Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan that run many kilometers those tunnels, and Iran hid its 60% enriched uranium in those tunnels, and Iran sealed the entrances to those tunnels as well. So the Iran has hidden its uranium underground many kilometers below the earth, below the surface, below the surface of the earth, many kilometers deep. And the result of this is that the uranium is now out of the reach, of the US and Israel, as US don't have that much powerful bunker busters which can reach to that much depth, which can penetrate at that much depth. And so the 60% enriched uranium is safe with Iran now. The only option by US, which US have and which Israel have, to get access to that uranium is that US should have troops on ground, but that would be risky and costly as well, because in order to firstly there is IRGC, which is 1 million strong, and which is trained in guerrilla warfare tactics. And secondly, the terrain of Iran is difficult, as it is a mountainous region. And thirdly is because that to US should be 500,000 troops should be sent in order to get troops on ground and to get achieve success and to invade. They'd be needing approximately 500,000, 2 million soldiers there, and to maintain that much force, it would be very costly. And even now, US is spending nearly approximately $1 billion a day on this war, and they have already spent $25 billion up till now. US is spending $1 billion on this war on daily basis, and they have spent around 25 to $26 billion as of now. So this is the visuals when courtesy RT channel. This is a Russian channel, and these are the visuals when Iranian incoming ballistic missile makes an impact in Israel. Look at these visuals. Iranian missiles make an impact after making a maneuver and dodging incoming and dodging the air defense missile. Iranian ballistic missile dodges the interceptor missile and manages to make an impact. Iranian ballistic missile maneuvers and dodges the interceptor missile and manages to make an impact. Look at these visuals there, the maneuverability and dodge, and then the impact. Explosions fire at Erbil high rise amid Iranian attacks. The latest visuals showing a large explosion at fire at high rise in Erbil, reportedly near the US consulate. This is near the US consulate in Iraq. A building was struck by a drone near the US consulate. A drone impact in These are the latest visuals we are showing you. These are the latest visuals we are showing you. Impacts in Iraq near the US consulate. Drone impacts in Iraq near the US consulate. Please do subscribe the channel as well, and do like the video, and do comment your thoughts as well. A resident discovered a live missile close to their village in occupied West Bank after hearing explosions overnight, courtesy Al Jazeera. Iranian missiles. Iran has a missile which has the capability to maneuver, which makes that hard to intercept, which makes it harder to get intercepted. Iran has missiles, Khorramshahr missile, which has the ability of maneuverability and which can carry up to 80 warheads. Iran also has hypersonic missiles. Iran has Fateh 1 and 2. Iran has Khaybar missiles. Iran has Sajil missiles. Sajil missile is a solid fuel missile, which Iran has a solid fuel missile called Sajil, and Sajil missile is the solid fuel makes it harder to get intercepted. This is when Iran's industrial city, military industry, was targeted by US B-52 bombers. US B-52 bombers striking military facilities and industries in Iran. These are the latest visuals we are showing you, in which US B-52 bombers are bombing US B-52 bombers are bombing military factories and industries in Iran. So the latest visuals we are showing you when B-52 bombed military industries and facilities in Iran. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and do share your thoughts and comments, and do share your thoughts in the comments as well. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. We are showing you the visuals when B-52 bombers bombed the military facilities and the military factories and assets in Iran. The B-52 bombers bombed the military assets and facilities in Iran. The visuals, the latest visuals we are showing you that the strong point of US and Israel is that they have air superiority over Iran. Mm, and they have air superiority over Iran, and they have F-22s and F-35s and B-12 bombers and B-52 bombers. This gives them the clear air superiority over Iran. Iran doesn't have that much developed uh, air force, and the strong point of Iran is that they have Shahed drones and they have ballistic missiles which travel at hypersonic speeds and which make it difficult for them to get intercepted. So, and Iran has also that geopolitical importance, geopolitical. The Iran also has that geolocation, the which makes it easy for Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz. So that the location of Iran gives it an edge to close the Strait of Hormuz, and the missiles and the drones, the kamikaze drones and the kamikaze boats. Iran have these, which by which they have controlled the Strait of Hormuz, and they have closed the Strait of Hormuz. It's the 26th day when the Strait of Hormuz is closed. The Strait of Hormuz is closed since the beginning of the war, and it's the 26th day that this strait is closed, despite US trying many times to open that Strait of Hormuz. Now US has also threatened Iran that if by Friday Iran doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz, then the US will bomb the energy facilities and the power plants of Iran, and that means obviously Iran will also retaliate, and Iran has already said that we won't be opening Strait of Hormuz, and we are not intimidated by your threats. And the situation is that please do comment that regarding this is, do you think that Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz up till now, and it is the 26th day of the war. Do you think that the Strait of Hormuz can remain closed for 2 months, 3 months, or maybe 6 months? And if that is the case, can Iran hold its position, and can Iran hold the Strait of Hormuz in its control and close the Strait of Hormuz for 2 to 3 months or even 6 months if the war gets prolonged? And if that is the situation, if Iran can do it, then that would be an economic disaster for not only the Middle East but for whole of the world, because the Strait of Hormuz accounts of 20% of the oil which passes in India is getting tight regarding the oil and petrol purchase and selling, and the government of India has deployed the police on the petrol pumps, as the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and the Strait of Hormuz accounts for 40% of India's oil purchase. India's 40% of oil purchase is through the Strait of Hormuz, and since the Strait of Hormuz is closed, the prices in India are going up, and Indian government has deployed police officers on petrol pumps to avoid panicking of the people. And if Iran can close the Strait of Hormuz for 2 to 3 months or 6 months, that would be economic disaster. The prices of the oil will they might go up even to $300-400 a barrel, and that would result in the prices of energy getting very high. The prices of commodities, the transport and health and everything would be reaching sky high, and that would be economic disaster for whole of the world. And so in under these circumstances and situations, the three countries are trying very hard for negotiations to start between US and Iran, and those three countries are like Pakistan and Egypt and Turkey. These countries are trying their best so that the negotiations between Iran and US could start and this war could end. There were also reports that Saudi Arabia and Qatar are saying that they have had enough of this, and they are continuously intercepting the missiles and drones over their skies. And they said that they are thinking of joining the war against Iran. They would be joining. They are thinking of joining the war, and they are very near to make a decision on it, and they would be joining the war formally. And they would be joining the war formally, and they can attack Iran in upcoming days if Iran keeps on attacking their land. So the thought is going on between the government of Saudi Arabia. The discussions are going on, and Saudi Arabia can join this war against Iran in upcoming days. Discussions are going on in Saudi Arabia regarding joining of this war. Drone attack sparks fire at Kuwait ports and oil facilities. The airports have been targeted, and courtesy Al Jazeera News, a drone has sparked a fire at a fuel tank at Kuwait International Airport. Look at these visuals we are showing you. This is earlier the visuals we showed you. This is the zoom angle of those visuals when B-52 bombers bombed the military sites and factories and industries of Iran. The B-52 bombers bombing the military sites and factories of Iran. The military factories and sites and equipments of Iran being bombed by US B-52 bombers. And look at these visuals. These are the latest visuals when B-52 bombers bombed the military sites and military industries and equipment of Iran. B-52 bombers of US hitting the industries related to military of Iran. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and share your thoughts in the comment. Iran says it has struck US F-35, and they have even released the footage of this incident, while the Pentagon confirmed the jet made an emergency landing. The Pentagon says that the jet made an emergency landing, and they are still investigating of what happened. If verified, it could be first non-contact hit on F-35. Iran said that they have attacked F-35 and taken down
by flying a combat mission was
F-35. Iran have also released of that. Iran has said that they have attacked the US F-35 jet, and they have also released the footage of that, and the investigations are going on whether the US F-35 stealth jet was shot by Iran or it was an emergency landing due to an accidental emergency landing. And these are the visuals from Al-Mana gas station in southern Lebanon after Israeli airstrikes. And the visuals from Lebanon after Israeli airstrikes. Visuals from southern Lebanon. After Israeli airstrikes. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and share your comments. The Strait of Hormuz has been effectively closed since the start of the US war, and sending the oil prices to 50% up. This is again the visuals when B-52 bombers bombed the military sites and industries in Iran. the US B-52 stealth bombers bombing bombing Iran's military infrastructure and military industries. The latest visuals of Iran when B-52 bombers bombed the military sites in Iran. Please do subscribe the channel as well and share your thoughts in the comments, and do like the video as well. We are showing you unverified visuals and footages and providing you the analysis over these unverified visuals and footages purely from documentary and educational point of view, and we strongly follow the YouTube community guidelines, and we are showing you the reportedly allegedly visuals from Iran when US B-52 bombers struck the military industries of Iran. Look at these visuals again one more time. These are the visuals when B-52 bombers hit and bombed the military facilities and industries in Iran. These are the latest visuals when B-52 bombers struck the military facilities in Iran. The latest visuals from Iran when the military facilities were hit by B-52 bombers in Iran. B-52 bombers struck military facilities and industries in Iran. Pakistan and Egypt and Turkey are trying hard for the negotiations to start between US and Iran. Hezbollah has released footage of its operation targeting Israeli bases with missiles. Hezbollah releases the footage of firing missiles towards Israel. The IRGC facilities and the missile bases were hit by Israel and US. The IRGC facilities and missile bases were hit by Israel. Iranian kamikaze drones reportedly breached US bases in Iraq, slipping past the air defense systems. Iran has yesterday shot down a Lucas drone, or a US Lucas drone. Iran has shot down a US Lucas drone yesterday, and Iran has these are the visuals when Iran fired the drones, Shahed drones, towards American bases in Iraq and the Gulf, and these were the visuals when these drones made an impact. Iran has these Shahed drones, and these are the visuals when Iran's Shahed drones made an impact. Iran has released the footage of launching of the drones, and these are the visuals showing the drones making an impact. The visuals when the drone makes an impact and the launching of the drone. Yesterday, a drone struck Kuwait's oil refinery as well. So we see in the regions alongside the military targets, civilian infrastructure is also being targeted. Civilian infrastructure being targeted includes civilian infrastructure that is being targeted includes the oil facilities, the gas facilities, and the power plants as well. And the oil and gas facilities are being targeted. And at first, when Israel targeted the oil facility in Iran, Iran responded by attacking back and attacking the oil facility in UAE Fujairah. And days after that, Israel and US attacked the gas facilities, the largest gas facility in Iran, which accounts for 75% of production of gas of Iran and energy of Iran. And that was not only the largest in Iran, but the largest in the whole world, one of the largest in the whole world. So Iran responded by attacking the Qatar's gas facilities and damaging it 17%, and Qatar was nearing 5 years to rebuild that gas facility that was damaged by drone attack. And then Iran also attacked the Haifa oil facilities and of Israel as well. And Israel claimed that no significant impact was made. But Iran said that they have struck the Haifa facility, to which Israel denied that no significant impact was made. Then we saw that threats from President Trump that if Strait of Hormuz remains closed, then the US will be targeting the power plants in the US as well. And the Iran said that they are not intimidated by the threats, US threats, and they are not opening the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran also struck Kuwait's oil facility as well yesterday. Iran also struck Kuwait's oil facility yesterday, reportedly. So we are seeing not only the civilian infrastructure being targeted, but we are seeing that alongside the military infrastructure, the civilian infrastructure is also being targeted. And as a result of this, there is panic, and the prices of oil are going up. Yes, they did took a dip yesterday, but the general trend is like the prices of fuel and oil are going up, and the prices of energy are going up with the Strait of Hormuz being closed, and the tensions in the Middle East. So. There will be like shortages of energy and oil, and the prices will be up, and there will be global inflation and unemployment and economic disaster. So seeing these situations, Turkey and Egypt and Pakistan has offered to mediate between Iran and US. Iran has confirmed that Pakistan and Turkey are trying for the negotiations between US and Iran. And on the other hand, US President Trump has also said that negotiations might start. And the president of Turkey, Tayyip Erdogan, has said that this war should end by now. And the three countries, Turkey and Egypt and Pakistan, are playing their role for ceasefire talks to begin between Iran and the US. Let's see if those talks can be fruitful or not. Iran has laid down its condition of ceasefire, and the condition of ceasefire is that the US must pay for the damage they have done to the civilian infrastructure of Iran, and they should also recognize the legitimate rights of Iran to produce its missiles and drones, and to have nuclear energy. And they also said that they are not building the nukes, but they can have the nuclear energy for they can have uranium enrichment for nuclear energy purposes, and not for nuclear missiles. And the third condition is that the first being the first condition. Let me repeat the conditions Iran laid down. That first, that the US should pay for the damages they have done to the civil infrastructure of Iran. The US should recognize the legitimate rights of Iran. That includes its missile program, and etc., etc. And number three is that no future act of aggression should be against Iran, and Iran demands international community guarantees over it. So these are the conditions Iran put forward for the negotiations to begin. The US is saying that they are working on a 15-point agenda, and the 15-point agenda is regarding a ceasefire that should be 1 month long, and the 15-point agenda should be discussed, and in order to reach an agreement that could be a permanent ceasefire and the end of the war. So the US is thinking of 1 month ceasefire, and in those ceasefire talks would be beginning regarding the ceasefire and a permanent ceasefire, and if permanent ceasefire could be reached. These are the visuals we are showing you on the latest visuals. We are showing you when US bombed. These are the latest visual when US B-52 bombers bombed the military facilities and industries of Iran. Please do subscribe the channel as well, and do share your comments and thoughts. And these are the visuals, latest visuals when B-52 bombers bombed Iran's military facilities. Also tell us that do you think that this time, what the US is saying, that they need a ceasefire of 1 month to negotiate between Iran and the US, and so that a permanent solution can be reached. Is it a time-getting tactic by US and Israel for to come again with fresh supplies of ammunitions and missiles and fresh soldiers? Is it that time gaining technique, or US is serious about these talks? And Iran has said that the statement regarding the negotiations by US president are worthless and they are not negotiating, and the only point the negotiations could start is if US agrees to pay of what they had damaged the civilian infrastructure in Iran, and they agree the legitimate rights of Iran to have missile program, and if the US agrees on that that the future act of aggressions wouldn't be against future act of aggression wouldn't be against Iran in the near future, and Iran demands international guarantees, strong international guarantees over there. So, do you think that this ceasefire would have some effect, or it is a temporary ceasefire, or but that ceasefire talks have yet to begin, and Pakistan and Egypt and Turkey are playing its role to have the talks between Iran and US talks to start. This is it for now, and we will be joining you sometime later when we have more news and analysis to discuss with you people. So before leaving, it's a request, so please do subscribe the channel and do like the video as well, and do share your thoughts in the comment as well. This is it for now. Take care.